And good morning. It is Friday. How are you? Warning, it's in the 40s as you're waking up. 46 last check. It's drastic, isn't it? We're going to have some more of that in the next few days as you wake up early. As we're waking up, we'll have details coming up at 7 o'clock. We've had a second robbery. This one just occurred a few moments ago. Usual place, Highway 19 North, the 300 block there at the Exxon gas station. We will say this before this. Put in a little prayer. The clerk was assaulted during this robbery. And when I mean assaulted, he was struck pretty hard. Ambulances rushed him to a local hospital. This is the second time this has happened to a clerk lately that received injuries. The other was not all that long ago on the other end of Highway 19, down by Nick and Owls. Break time is where that one happened. We had somebody injured there. But keep him in your thoughts and prayers there because serious situation there. As we get this day underway, we've got so much more coming up that we'll be telling you about. Don't miss out on it. Local headlines. Also, we'll have all of your national headlines here in just a moment there. Headlines that are shaping America. Won't you join us? Let's go on out to Collinsville, get our good word for the day as we go to Collinsville Baptist.
Our oldest daughter and her family are in the process of building a new house. It's a huge undertaking, but I've been impressed with the attention they're giving to each part of the process. They're seeking wisdom from those who know about dirt work and foundations and framing and plumbing and electrical and roofing and even landscaping. With all that needs to be done, the process can be overwhelming at times, but in the end, we believe they're going to have a beautiful home that they will enjoy for years to come. Proverbs 24:3-4 says, "By wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established. Through knowledge its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures." There is so much that goes into building a home. Solomon says, "Through understanding it is established." There is so much to understand before a home can be complete. This is true in building a physical structure, but it's also true in building the moral and spiritual values within the home. These two are built by wisdom and are established through understanding that God freely gives to those who seek Him. As we build our homes with God's wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, He richly blesses with rooms that are filled with rare and beautiful treasures, both in a physical sense, but more so in the spiritual sense. Thanks be to God for the blessings that come from home and family. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Coffees are brewing across many of your living rooms at this point. Welcome to the Scotty Ray Report as we begin this Friday. It is November the 15th. That puts us at the halfway point. Not all that long off to Thanksgiving, is it? I think Dylan Ray is going to be able to fly back home. Visit with us for a moment. We hope so. Arnold, good morning. Diane, I see you up. Brian Long and Miss Joyce. Some stories you scratch your head and you go, how could this go on? This has several different twists. Indianapolis is where we go this morning. A man came up missing, and we go back a week. They've been a little slow releasing information on this, as you'll tell why. Last Friday, a man was reported missing. Last place he was spotted was he was going to the gym. Monday, they found him. Now, also with this, he had an ankle monitor on him, which means that police could, Odie, I'm right, that you could log in and see where you are, correct? He was at the gym deceased the entire weekend. Apparent overdose. He was found when they returned to the gym Monday morning, the workers there to do the cleaning. If you report it to the police and he has an ankle monitor, not know where he was the entire time? I don't understand that. You would have to do some, as Lucy would say, some splaining. I doubt they could have got there any quicker since it does appear to be an overdose. Syringes were found at the scene. He had a history of drug problems. New Jersey, if you're there, they've declared a drought. It's a drought warning there in New Jersey, if you're anywhere near there this morning. They've arrested, and this is going to be in New Jersey also, a 14-year-old boy for starting a forest fire. We move over to New York. We have a firefighter that was arrested for lighting fires. We've had that locally. several times to where someone loves to see fire and they'll light things to be able to respond to it. Not always. I don't want anybody to say I'm pinpointing and blaming people. This is just two examples there of people that, there's some, what do they call them, fire starters?
Yep.
Arsonists, fire starters. It's a shame that exists, but it does. It's a disease of some sort. In other news this morning, it's going to a recount. Pennsylvania, as we look at this, they say it's close. I think it's like 29,000 votes that are separating Dave McCormick as he's leading to win the Senate race there against Bob Casey. Putting it closer to 28. It's a little over 28,000 votes. It will be a recount. We'll see what becomes of that. It falls in the margin of, well, it could be an error. We'll see, won't we? Ford is getting spanked by the federal government because they were a little sluggish on reporting a recall. And this would deal with backup cameras. Well, it's a pretty hefty one. It's the second highest fine that's ever been issued there. I believe somewhere around $65 million. $165 million penalty was the top one. This is going to be about 65 is what they'll get, and they'll have to put another $55 million to be deferred. It's a lot of cash. Ford. Jail conditions in Georgia is where we go next. They say they violated constitutional rights of inmates. Fulton County is where we go for this story, where they say inside. And most everybody knows somebody who's been arrested for something at some point in their life. It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, you know someone. It's never nice inside a jail, is it? But a lot of times if you go to jail, if you're truly not a criminal, by the time you get out, you'll have a PhD because there's more crime inside the jail than there is on the outside. Idle time, little to do. They no longer get you to do work. You sit around and think of things to do and to harm people. That's just my 2 cents I added to that. But inside, as gangs are reported, and it's bad conditions there. We'll see what happens to that. That's Fulton County, Georgia is where that's at. Happens all over the U.S. Some bad folks in there. Businesses. Do you remember the name George Floyd? The corner where he died? You know that they made kind of like a park out of that to where people can go to that and pay tribute to him. There's a problem, though. The store owners that are in that neighborhood are suing the town. They're suing Minneapolis over this because, well, they're losing business and crime is high. It's almost turned into a no zone of police where criminals get away with what they want. Regardless whether it's got crime or not, they say that business is down due to all this park. They're asking the city to buy their businesses. Not sure that that'll happen, but that's the word on the street there in Indianapolis. Oh. Crime, 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 and crime. Will it be a change after January? We'll see. Burglars. New York City have hit at least 8 trucks. Delivery trucks, that's starting to be a thing. We see it across the U.S. to where it's an Amazon truck, it's a FedEx truck being robbed of, well, the product. They walked away with Gucci bags and iPhones in New York as 8 trucks were struck. It's orchestrated in time. They know exactly where these are. They follow around and watch this. Now, I've mentioned this over and over about our little area. And when I say our area, I'll say 8, 9 counties surrounding central Mississippi here, East Mississippi and West Alabama, of criminals. I've done everything I can. Without police help, there's no way for me to track how many cars are stolen. I would have to have an exact report every day, and I just don't get that from the current administration within the city. Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. Think about this. Just the airport. $5 million worth of cars are stolen each year from there alone. $5 million worth. Now, I know it's not that much in our area because, well, it just doesn't have that type of income. But it's large for a town our size. It's every night. It's not occasionally. It's every night. I don't get every one that happens. I know we had one last week from a hotel stolen. That's just what I was told about. There's more and more of that. And if they're not stolen, they're broken into. This is they almost had a clever plan until someone noticed that the phone had been touched. You get pulled over. And this is becoming a normal thing to have your insurance card on your phone, to where you don't have to find the card in your car. It's fell down behind something or fell underneath the vent, is to keep it on your phone. And you show it to the police officer. Missouri is where we go for this story, and you can expect a lawsuit is coming. And I don't know. I guess people, it is a personal item, your phone. Well, some people keep, I'm looking for the word, indecent pictures of themselves. Is that the word I'm looking for? Indecent pictures? Yeah, Greg just went, ugh. As they were checking for insurance, somehow or another the phone got swiped, and they couldn't help but notice there was indecent pictures. So, well, they took out their cell phone and went, click, kept a copy of it. We've got numerous women suing now. Ruh-roh. I take it that men don't normally have those on their phone. It's only women that are complaining on this. Nobody in the studio is raising their hands if they do it, so we're going to say that's a zero. We have another person, and get this now, this has been four years. Federal government hasn't given it up. A former Detroit Lions player has been arrested. Y'all want to guess why? J6, as they call it. They're going to charge him with the capital of being there and disturbing the peace. What, four years later? We'll see what becomes of this after January the 20th. If these charges are dropped, it's rumored that it will. Day one. We'll see what happens with that. Coming up next, we've got your forecast. Again, cool and 46 this morning as you're waking up.
When I was elected to the state Senate 9 years ago, my goal was to bring a new generation of conservative leadership to the Capitol to get things done. I'm Jennifer Branning, and I'm running for the Mississippi Supreme Court to do the same thing. I've written legislation to lower taxes and reduce regulations on farmers, manufacturers, and other businesses in Mississippi. On the Supreme Court, I'll use my experience and conservative values to always interpret the law, not to rewrite it or bend the rules for anyone.
The most wonderful time of the year is just around the corner, and Al's Garden and Gift is ready for a magical Christmas season. From sparkling Christopher Radko ornaments to custom wreaths by Wanda, we've got your holiday decor covered. Looking for the perfect gift? Try our custom baskets packed with treats like Mississippi cheese straws and old-fashioned peppermint sticks. And be sure to add vibrant colors to your outdoors with pansies and snapdragons. Charm and beauty await your home this wonderful season. Merry Christmas from Al's Garden and Gift.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look back at our record highs and record lows this morning, it was 2005. It was a hot day. It was 84 degrees on this day. 05 sounds like that was like, what, a year or two ago? Yeah, folks, I'm fixing to scare you. That's been a long time ago.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah, almost 19 years. That just does not sit well with me. 1963 was cold. It was 21. A little bit before I came along, and I think before Greg. Odie, were you around then? I'm getting a no over there.
It's his senior year.
It's his senior year. Oh, let's see what else we got today. As we look at this, 65 for a high is what we're expecting. It'll stay 63 in Columbus, over across Mississippi State, down the river to Natchez. It should warm up to about 67. Hattiesburg around 68. As we go east into Bama, we'll see that Tuscaloosa holding steady. That even cooler in Birmingham at 64. We'll see 67 there at Auburn, Alabama as well. Now, as we look at this, look at the cool front moving into Texas. It's in South Texas, West Texas, as it moves across in cooler weather for Mississippi, as we'll see those 40-degree marks like this morning. As we look at the high for today, 67. But look at tonight's low. When you get up tomorrow morning, for us cold-natured people, you're going to want a jacket. 40 degrees in the morning.
I want one this morning.
Oh, you want one out there now? It's dropped a few temperatures since I walked in. It's funny how that happens. At 3, it'll be one temperature, and by 4:30, it's dropped. Was it 46 outside now? Nippy. Tomorrow, we're going to get 70, down to a low of 46 on Saturday night. Again, that kind of a jacket weather going into church on Sunday morning, a high of 73. 76 for Monday. Chances of rain increased to 70% for those deer hunters on Tuesday. We'll still have a 30% chance on Wednesday, down to a 10% by Thursday, as we'll see highs of about 60 on Thursday. That's cooler. As we look at this, here we go, our first 3 that pops up in the forecast. Next Friday, a week from today, The low to dip into the 30s, a 39 low. What does that tell us? If you have not gotten propane, go ahead and order. Them boys work hard on Friday afternoons trying to deliver it. Spread it out during the week. Give them a little break there. Order your gas early. They'll help you out there. McDonald, and he'll be glad to come out and fill up your tank. 61 is expected next weekend for the high. We got a lot of car shows coming up on that weekend as well. Yep, Causeyville will be there for that one. 64, and we're back to 70 on the 28th. And as we move around Thanksgiving, we're going to stay in the mid-60s as we look at that. Now, as we look at this fishing forecast for today, it looks like our major time is this morning about 11:15. Be there about 10:45. Get you a good chair, sit on the creek bank, however you want to do it there. It should be good till about 1:30. Next major time is after dark. You've got a minor chance there at 4 o'clock when you get off. The wind's not too bad today. We're going to call it northeast, 5 to 10 is what we're looking at on this. Big thanks to J&J Auto Sales for helping us with that. Now, as we move over to the deer hunting side, we go to Wimberley Taxidermy. If it's your lucky year, check them out. We've got major time this morning around 10:30. Should be good to about 12:30. So those are your times of great times. It'll be after dark for another great time. Minor chances afternoon if you're going to be up a tree with a bow about 4 o'clock. 4 to 5 is what we're looking at. Now, the sunrise happened at 6:24 this morning. Sunset, as I've been saying, keeps backing up. Sunset's going to hit about 4:53 this afternoon. Again, that wind is northeast. 5 to 10 is what we're looking at on that. Now, let's look at radar. This is what we're popping up here from the National Hurricane Center, and we'll take a better look at it here in a second as we pull it up. There's Sarah. I like that, a good name that I can pronounce. It's not one of those that's hard. Sarah is out there floating around. Let's go over and take a look and see what Sarah's trying to do to everybody as we pull this up. Here's radar this morning as we go back to look at Honda Meridian radar. We got a lot of fog in the North Mississippi. If you're up around Tupelo, Oxford area, we've got a lot. We'll see that even into Jackson, Tennessee, there's a lot. Over in Vicksburg, as you're crossing the Mississippi River Bridge, we've got a little bit there as well. Over in Anniston, Alabama, east of Birmingham, we do. Now let's go down and take a look. This is Sarah. This morning, Sarah is floating along at 46 miles an hour. Wind gust of about 58 miles an hour, moving west at 9 miles an hour. Her millibars are 9999. That's a lucky number. Triple nines. That's what we're seeing on that. As we pull up these spaghetti models, and there's a lot of people that have been throwing this out that it's going to hit Mississippi, Alabama. Again, it's still early in all of this as we glance, but it does show that most likely at this point, our tracks put it going toward Tampa, Sarasota, those areas. They're staying away from the Mississippi, Alabama coastline. Again, it's early. We're going to watch this as this comes about. This should wrap up our hurricane season once Sarah decides to go away and go home for the winter. That's what we're expecting there. But again, it's just a tropical storm at this point, and nowhere in this over the next few days does it pop out to be a major hurricane. And the remnants of it going toward Fort Myers. Now, we'll watch this as it hits water after it comes out of Mexico. It goes back into the waters of the Gulf. We'll see what happens with all of that. That's a quick look at what's happening with weather this morning. Now, again, we've got a lot of stories. Robbery, and more robbery. It's getting toward the end of the month. People are broke, and I urge each and every one of you have eyes in the back of your head no matter where you go. And what I mean by that is know your surroundings. Glance around you, know who's watching you and what's going on as you're out and about. Never, ever, ever carry a lot of cash in your front pocket. Don't let anybody in a store see you whoop out and have a couple $100 in your pocket. They'll want to take it from you. A lot of people don't do that anymore, but just don't flash anything. If you know you're going in a store, take $5 with you, whatever you think is going to pay for it. Just don't overdo it to give people that need a little encouragement to harm you. Again, let's keep that store clerk in our prayers this morning that was injured just a few moments ago, was assaulted. We'll tell you more about that in just a moment as we begin the 7 o'clock hour, as the whole gang is here. We got Julia just all purpled out this morning. She's almost like a, what flower is that? No word from Greg over there. Is it an azalea? Is that what it is? It turns purple. A blooming. He can't come up with a flower either. I just can't think of a flower. I'm not much on flowers, huh?
I was thinking blooming idiot. I didn't know.
Blooming. The remarks are coming. It's already getting thick in here. Odie came in. He was already on one. Y'all look out. This is going to be a Friday for the books.
She's having M&M's for breakfast.
She's eating M&Ms?
For breakfast.
Hey, I got some of the. Do you like the chocolate ones, Julie, or are you more into the peanut kind?
I don't eat them that much.
I've got the peanut.
I appreciate both.
I got peanut over here if you'd like one.
We got a wreck coming in.
We got a wreck coming in.
Accident with injuries.
Injury?
Why not grocery?
Why not?
18-wheeler versus a truck.
Well, all right, why not? We have 18-wheeler involved with a car, and why not? This is going to be on Highway 19 right there. It's what we're
Right by Why Not Grocery.
right by Why Not Grocery. We're assuming that the roadway could be blocked.
Yes.
That's what we're assuming. We're going to get more details on this coming up. We don't know if anything's leaking or anything like that at this point. Nothing yet. So caution, caution, caution. Accident, Highway 19 by Why Not Grocery. We know it's an 18-wheeler. We'll get more information as this is breaking news. Foggy, yes it is. We'll get more information on this in just a second from the Scotty Ray Report. Y'all be cautious, be careful. We'll be right back.